big game with a first-year head coach. All in all, a pretty good year for the Green Bay Packers, and what a year it was for Allen Lazard, who didn't make the team out of training camp, then ended up playing a hugely important role. Have you had a chance to reflect on just how big this year was for you?
I kind of just did watching that. But yeah, just being able to kind of reflect and realize how crazy this past year has been.
It really has been. I mean, week 6 Lions game felt like a little bit of a coming out party for you. It was your first chance to make a real big impact in a game, your first touchdown. Do you remember what it was like?
A little bit. I kind of blacked out, just having so...
Tell us here. Your dad was not at the game, wanted to be at the game, but what happened? What did you do with your tickets?
I ended up giving away to teammates because they asked me earlier, and my dad hit me up on Thursday, hey, I'm coming. I'm like, you got to tell me before that you're coming to the game, and there's just a mix.
For you, or were you?
I mean, no.
Okay.
At that point, I was just really playing special teams.
So he's rewinding things that you're doing on special teams.
Yes. That's how he watches football, though, is that ever since I was little and DVRs came out, he never watches a game straight. It's always every play he has to rewind and watch this and watch every position.
But then that's problematic because then your phone can start blowing up.
And then you're 2 hours behind.
Which is essentially what happened to him.
Yes.
He found out about your big catch.
From my brother texting him. And other people blowing up his phone and stuff. And they were like, that was third quarter, I think. And he got that text, or when he was watching the second quarter. So.
Oh, how fun that must have been for them. So outside looking in, I would be crazy intimidated to walk into a team that had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback and playing your position. Hey, I'm here and I'll just go run this route and catch this ball. Were you intimidated by him initially?
No, I think Aaron...
Because...
32 teams passed on me, and I felt especially the college career that I had and the production I put out there on film.
All-time leading receiver at Iowa State.
Yep.
Thought you were going to get drafted, didn't get drafted. Since we are at that point of the season right now, we're talking about draft combine a lot. It strikes me that you would be a pretty good source of perspective for a lot of guys that might end up being in that position in a couple of months. Is there a message that you would have for somebody who's going through that process right now? Your team has 10 draft picks, an opportunity to get better in the off season. I know you probably heard last year as you guys were having the success, people talk about you guys as a team that overachieved. Do you think that was an accurate statement about who you guys were last year? Or?
I would say that, I want to say overachieved, but there was so much
potential moving forward. We're excited for your success. Thank you so much for coming in. Don't be a stranger.
I won't.
Come back.
I would love to be back here. It's beautiful.
And since we brought up the draft,